Hey, Shalom, Akim. Shalom, Shalom. All right, this is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson through the Spirit. And Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and who teach well. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, to you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Barakatham. Okay? So we're going to dive into a bunch of stuff, you know what I'm saying, this morning. All right? And it's getting real hot and heavy out here, man. All right? Real crazy. This thing's about to move. All right? Prophecy is moving forward quickly. Now let me turn these off, Salakia. So we're going to listen to this one here coming from Redacted. All right, Redacted is their channel. Okay. And it says, Tucker Carlson just dropped the truth bomb. War is coming and we will lose. All right, we will lose. America will lose, yes. You know what I'm saying? Call hello, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. America will lose. Why? Because it's prophesied. You see what I'm saying? There's no way out of it. All right? As a matter of fact, let me get started with that. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 47. And let's hit verse 1. It says, Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Nobody calls America the great beacon of hope and righteousness and morality and democracy and freedom. Nobody regards America as that anymore. You see what I'm saying? For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg. Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the rivers. You see what I'm saying? The world is collectively saying fuck off. You see? America has isolated itself and has made itself the enemy, man. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. Thy shame shall be seen. The world is realizing that every last one of you suckers is on that damn list. The world is realizing how much of a hypocrite you are. You know what I'm saying? What was it, back in 2019? Tulsi Gabbard was talking about she's completely against invading Venezuela, and they should have their own sovereignty and autonomy. And here it is today, she's in the Trump administration talking about, oh yeah, the administration, the president did a great job, you know what I'm saying, in stopping those narco terrorists and capturing a dictator. You see how everything switches? This is hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy. And the world is seeing it. All right? It's on full display. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. Thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. What is that vengeance that the Lord is talking about? Salakia, real quick. Salakia for that. But yeah, what is that vengeance that's being spoken of? Let's go to Isaiah chapter. Let's see. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 34. All right, Isaiah chapter 34. Let's start at verse 5. It says, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse." All right, the Idumeans. Who are the Idumeans? Okay, the Idumeans is a Greek way of saying Edom. And who are the Edomites? You know them as so-called Caucasians. You see what I'm saying? This is who he's talking about. "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment." And this is that people that's cursed to judgment. Okay? The same people that's written in the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. All right? "And the people of whom the Lord hath indignation forever," right? Continue in verse 6. It reads, "The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And today the land of Idumea rests in America, and these Edomites have taken over the Holy Land." You see what I'm saying? Both of these places are going to be completely nuked. This is scripture. It says, "For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness." Verse 8, that's the point. "For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses, for the controversy of Zion." And who's Zion? What is Zion? He's speaking about the children of Israel. You see what I'm saying? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, Hispanics, Seminole Indians, he's talking about you, man. So let's get into this video, and I got a couple more to get into, man. Bear with me.
War is coming to the Arctic Circle, something we've been covering on the show for...
Oh, Slovakia. Let me take that back.
War is coming to the Arctic Circle, something we've been covering on the show for a few years. The play for Greenland, of course, all part of this larger plan. Russia, China, the U.S., all making plays for the most important trade route in the world right now. Of course, we've been telling you for years about this. The United States had one ice cutter. So Russia, China had already laid claim to a vast portion of all of this. Now the United States wants in on this. Trump is now calling for a $1.5 trillion military spending. He mentioned this last night, citing dangerous times. And here is his tweet about it. "After long and difficult negotiations with senators, congressmen, secretaries, and other political representatives, I've determined that for the good of our country, especially in these very troubled and dangerous times, our military budget for the year 2027 should not be $1 trillion, but rather $1.5 trillion. Of course, on that news, Lockheed Martin stock exploded. All of the military industrial complex stocks exploded. But then he also said, hey, all of you CEOs of these military industrial contracts companies like Boeing should not be getting $25 million a year. It needs to be capped at $5 million. That's it. $5 million. So we'll see if that holds. Glenn Greenwald posted this. He said, "When the Pentagon fails its audit for the 7th consecutive year, the DoD simply can't account for the hundreds of billions of dollars flying around like Zelensky. The only rational solution is to increase its budget from $850 billion to $1 trillion, then to $1.5 trillion. He makes a good point. Tucker Carlson makes the point that war is coming, and maybe Trump knows something that we don't, but clearly something is happening.
The president announced that he is hiking the Pentagon budget from $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion. Just announced that. Why? Well, it's hard to know without asking him. He'll explain. But big picture, obviously, that's the kind of budget that a country that anticipates a global or regional war has for its military. There's no other reason to do that. That's not a peacekeeping budget. That's a war budget, a big war budget. So I think it's fair to expect, and all the signs suggest, that we're going to have a big war soon. A big war soon. I think everyone expects that to happen.
And that's not just a big war budget. That's the biggest war budget. That's the biggest. So this thing's about to pop off, man. It's not gonna delay any further. All right? It's not gonna delay any further, man. Let's go to Habakkuk. All right. Habakkuk chapter 2. And let's sit verse 2. It says, "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables." All right, that vision is going into a prophecy. Okay, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And this thing's not tarrying any further, man. All right, Esau's pride has been lifted up. All right, the Lord has hardened this devil's heart, and he's finna go with it. You see?
Doesn't happen, but obviously we're moving in that direction toward a world war. Sorry. So how do you position yourself for that? Well, you look at a map and you ask the most basic questions. What areas do I want to control? Where are the trade routes? Who's got the resources?
Exactly. Well, one thing is for certain, war is coming. How it will all play out, we don't exactly know. We do know that a large-scale attack against Iran is likely to happen before the end of the year. Before the end of the month. Likely on a Friday into this.
He had to correct himself, man. He had to correct him. He said, before the end of the year. Oh, wait, excuse me. Before the end of the month. Before the end of the month, we finna see this thing pop off, man. Shit.
Saturday morning, just like it did last time, Israelis will wake up at 3 a.m. to learn that their country has gone to war with Iran. That's one piece of it. What's going to happen in the Arctic Circle? That's another big piece of it. Europe, of course, is certainly gearing up for war. So all of this to say is something big is happening. Ben Freeman is the author of The $1 Trillion War Machine, How Runaway Military Spending Drives America into Foreign Wars and Bankrupts Us here at home. Ben, welcome to the show. Great to see you. So, the president says this budget is affordable because of the income that is really going to be generated abroad, not here at home. Like it's largely maybe from the pillaging of oil resources in Venezuela and kind of other places. He says this. I mean, and to me, the implication seems to be that the military is like paying for itself.
Because they'll steal it?
By conquering other economies and sort of like subjugating them. I mean, it sounds like the Roman Empire, no?
You can't tell me these scriptures ain't speaking, man. This is Psalms. This is Psalms chapter 1 and verse 9. Excuse me, Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. Salakia. Let's go here. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9, and it reads, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun." There's no new thing under the sun. All right. This is that little horn that comes in the stead of comes in the shadow of the beast that preceded, which was Rome. You see? So this is that continuation of Rome, man.
I live in Florida, and we call that piracy. It hasn't
by conquering other economies and sort of like subjugating them. I mean, it sounds like the Roman Empire, no?
I live in Florida, and we call that piracy. It hasn't worked historically, and it's not going to work that way now. I mean, what we're seeing here with Venezuela, that's what it is at the end of the day. The president's justification for a foreign war is effectively that we're going to take their leader, we're going to run the country so we can steal their stuff. That just historically hasn't worked for us. It hasn't worked for a lot of countries that have tried that, and it's not going to work for Venezuela. And to this $1.5 trillion budget that he's talking about, I think it's important, and no disrespect to Tucker on this, but I think it's important to put that $500 billion in perspective. That's more than any country on the planet's military budget. That's more than China, Russia, and Iran spend on their militaries combined. So if we
So if I'm gathering this right, $500 billion is more. $500 billion alone is more than what any other major world power spends on their military combined. China, Russia, Iran, and that's just 500 billion. They raised this budget of theirs to $1,500 billion. That's $1.5 trillion. So now they tripled that. This thing is happening, man. We going to war. You know what I'm saying? Call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai.
Are spending $500 billion more to prepare for war. I think at the very least, we're spending way too much on it.
You know, I'm a huge fan of the bearskin hood.
All right, so that's pretty much what I need from that. Let's go here. Bear with me. This is what's hot in the news, man. This is why Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to lose. This is why. They've isolated themselves. Like I said, all their allies are falling back and leaving them. All their allies, right? It says Germany and Lithuania, along with other European allies, have expressed support for Denmark in response to the U.S. threats regarding Greenland, emphasizing that the territory belongs to its people and should not be subject to U.S. claims. They have called for a collective approach. So now they're all banding together, not against your enemies, but against you. You know what I'm saying? It says they have called for a collective approach to address the situation while upholding international law and Denmark's sovereignty. And very soon, everyone's going to say to hell with international law, because the rules are changed, all by this one act of America going into Venezuela. The world got to see firsthand the hypocrisy, and they ain't finna hold fast to this treaty, to these laws, to these international rules. They're not gonna hold fast to that, you know what I'm saying, and risk the risk the United States going into those territories, because it's violating international laws now. You see? No, they're going to take matters into their own hands as well. They're going to say, you know what? Enough of that stuff. Enough of that nonsense, man. The world order is collapsing. You know what I'm saying? And America is just are the ones that lit the fire. You know, they're the ones that lit the flame. I'm looking at a generated response for an article right here on my laptop. It says German and Lithuanian foreign ministers expressed full support for Denmark in response to U.S. Trump's remarks about Greenland. German foreign minister emphasizes that Greenland, as part of the Danish kingdom, would need to be defended by NATO if necessary. Lithuanian foreign minister underscores the importance of discussing Greenland-related issues within the framework of international law and allied spirit. All right. So let's go here.
France is absolutely furious at Donald Trump and his regime, and they are preparing for war behind the scenes. France, Germany, many other countries in Europe, Canada, and others have made secret plans about how they will respond if the Trump regime invades Greenland. Also, we saw Denmark respond forcefully, reminding the United States that they have a doctrine. If they suspect an invasion is taking place, they will shoot first and ask questions later. Denmark, with the support of Europe, with the support of France, sending a clear message to the United States. If you invade, not only will NATO no longer exist, we are prepared to fight you. We are prepared to go to war. This is not what you did with Venezuela, where you took out Maduro and installed Maduro, another Maduro puppet, Delcy Rodriguez. Denmark, France, and Germany is ready for war with you, Donald Trump. That's the message that is being sent right now. I'm going to show you a clip in a moment of French President Emmanuel Macron, as well as the French ambassador to the United Nations. But first, I want to share what Reuters is reporting as well, that European allies, including France and Germany, are coordinating their response in case the U.S. moves to take control of Greenland. So France is working with its partners on a plan. How will it respond if the U.S. invades? They're getting prepared. They're taking it very seriously. Then Denmark put out the following statement. Denmark will shoot first and ask questions later over Greenland. Do you understand that language better, Donald? Is that the mafia language that you like? They're going to shoot first and ask questions later. If you want a war with NATO, it'll be disbanded and they will go to war with you. If that's what you think about your Donroe doctrine in controlling the Western Hemisphere. Let's take a look at how it's reported by the Telegraph. Denmark will shoot first and ask questions later over Greenland. Danish soldiers will be required to shoot first and ask questions later if the United States invades Greenland under the Army's rules of engagement. On Wednesday, the Danish Defense Ministry confirmed the existence of a 1952 rule requiring soldiers to immediately counterattack invading forces without awaiting orders. The Defense Ministry also said that the rule remains enforced when asked about its status by a center-right-leaning Danish newspaper, the Berlingske. This week, Donald Trump has threatened to invade Greenland over and over again, to which Greenland said, we're not for sale. Denmark said, they're not for sale. And according to this Danish newspaper, the 1952 rule states that in the event of an invasion, the attacked forces must immediately take up the fight without waiting for or seeking orders, even if the commanders in question are not aware of the declaration of war or state of war. When approached for comment, the Danish Defense Ministry told the newspaper the order on precautionary measures for military defense in the event of attacks on the country and during war remains in full force and effect. And European allies have held these meetings about how they will respond. We want to take action. We will do so together with our European partners. A German government source also told Reuters separately that Germany was working closely together with European countries in how to respond and protect Greenland in the event of a United States invasion.
There you go. There you go, man. This is Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. In NLT it reads, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. Let's go to Isaiah. All right, let's get Isaiah chapter 33. And before I do that, let me show you this this last clip. Bear with me.
Now he wants to take it. Of course he cannot take it. And I say, if you take it, we take every single base of the Americans from Aviano to Ramstein, from Romania to all the other military bases will be confiscated and you will lose it. If you take Greenland, you have to leave. It's very simple, Mrs. Miller. This is the leverage we have. You need these bases for global power projection. You won't have it. And we can defend ourselves very well, and we will do that without the US nuclear shield, without the US troops in Europe. Without the American bases, we will simply run these bases ourselves, and we run your boys home into Chicago, yeah, and Ohio. And goodbye.
And goodbye. And goodbye. It's just like that. This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Let's go to the NIV. It says, woe to you, destroyer, you who have not been destroyed. Woe to you, betrayer, you who have not been betrayed. When you stop destroying, you will be destroyed. When you stop betraying, you will be betrayed. We're going into that global war, man. And that's the craziest thing, man. That's the funniest thing. America is spending so much money, unfathomable amount of money on this war. And they're still going to lose. It don't matter. You see, it doesn't matter how much money you pump into this thing. It doesn't matter how many bombs you have. You can't go against the whole world. You see what I'm saying? You can't go against the whole world. And the whole world is turning against you now. You see? The whole world is going to, it don't matter how big and bad to the bone you are, man. It don't matter how big and bad you think you are, bro. You remember that one scene from the movie A Bug's Life? And you see the grasshopper, and the grasshopper was saying, we're going back to the manse. And the other grasshoppers like, man, we got everything we need. You know what I'm saying? We got all these nuts and everything like that. We got everything we could ask for. And then he takes one nut and he says, does this hurt? And they said, no. Then he takes another one, hits him. Does that one hurt? He said, no. But then he takes all of those acorns and he just has them dump on them. And they die instantly. They died instantly. You see what I'm saying? So if it's just America going after Lithuania by themselves, there's no problems, no contest. You know what I'm saying? If you go after Greenland by themselves, that's nothing. If you go after, whatever, you know what I'm saying, Germany by itself, it's whatever, man. But when all of them join forces and they all come after you at once, this is what's going to happen. All these countries are going to join with Russia. It's written in the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. All these nations are going to come and join with them. They're going to join the BRICS while they at it, because the dollar is trash, and everybody knows that the dollar is trash. Silver is through the roof, man. Gold prices is up, and there's only but so much you can manipulate the markets to make it seem like it's not shooting through the roof. You see, there's no hiding from this. There's no running. There's no getting out of this, man. All right? No getting up out of this. So, it's only a matter of time, man. All right? It's only a matter of time. The nations have drunk enough of wine, therefore the nations are mad, and now the nations want to get their lick back. You see? And this is coming from the man in Austria. I mean, all your allies is going to turn against all of them. Every last one of them. Hey, man, this has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Hey, shalom.